have Genesis here. She's an amazing 11-year-old activist who is making a name for herself. She's already had a TED Talk, been in several movies, and just yesterday she ran into Khloe Kardashian at town hall and asked her to stop wearing fur.
Hi everyone. So if I sniffle a little bit, the good thing about being vegan is you don't get sick. I don't remember the last time I got sick, but when I was on the way over here on the plane, there was a plane full of people, and I have a little bit of a cold, but it should be okay. But I'm sorry if I keep sniffling. Hi everyone, my name is Genesis Butler. I'm 11 years old, and I wanted to start off by telling you a little bit about myself and how I went vegan. So when I was 3 years old, my favorite food was chicken nuggets. I just loved chicken nuggets so much, I could eat them every day. So one day I was sitting at the dinner table and I started to wonder about where they came from. So I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, where do our chicken nuggets come from?" And she told me, "Oh, just from the grocery store," because she didn't want to tell me the truth because I was only 3, about to turn 4. So I asked her again, I said, "Mom, where do we really get them from?" Because I just felt like there was something sneaky in the nuggets. So I asked her, I said, "Mom, where do we really get them from?" And she told me that we killed animals for them. I was devastated. I told her I never wanted to eat meat ever again. That day, me and my mom went vegetarian. About a year later, I walked into my mom's bedroom and I saw her nursing my little sister Zion, and it made me start to think about the milk I was drinking. So I asked her, I said, "Mom, where do we get our milk from?" And she told me that we got it from mama cows. I said, "So that's like someone taking your milk just to give it to humans instead of my little sister, right?" She told me that was exactly how it was. She never thought of it that way. That day, my whole family's vegan now. We've been vegan for 5 years, and it has been the best. It has been the best decision we could have ever made. So when I first went vegan, I knew I was doing something good for the animals by not eating them, but I felt like there was just something more I could do for them. So I asked my mom, and she started doing some research and found out about something called protest. Well, I didn't really know what that was. So she did a little bit more research, and we went to our first protest. It was against Ringling Brothers, and I really didn't know what to expect. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. No, actually, I was terrified. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know what was going to happen. But when we first got there, we met so many amazing activists that helped us and made us feel so comfortable. I loved my first protest. From then, all I wanted to do was protest, protest, protest. So after that, we were leaving the protest and we passed by a house with a termite tent on it. And I was only 6, so I didn't know what that was. So we were driving past it, and I said, "Mom, look, there's a circus. Let's go buy some signs from the dollar store, and let's go protest the circus." And she looked at me and she said, "Genesis, that's a termite tent." But I was only 6, I didn't know. So I started crying because I really wanted to protest the termite tent. And she said, "Genesis, you know there's bugs in there, right?" I said, "Let's go protest for the termites." So said, "Well, okay, well maybe tomorrow we'll go to another protest." So after we went to another protest against the circus, and when we got there, there was people that were with us passing out flowers, and I was really curious what was going on. So I walked over there and I asked them, I said, "What are you guys passing out?" And they told me that they're called leaflets. And I said, "What were those?" And they told me that they're pieces of paper that have information on them and a picture about how they abuse the animals there. So they gave me a stack of them, and ever since then, I have loved leafletting. It's my favorite thing to do. I keep leaflets wherever I'm at. I always have them with me. If you're looking at my house, you should see my house. I have every type of leaflets you could ever imagine. So when my little brother or sister or anyone goes to my house and they're digging in the side of the couch for money. Instead of money, they're gonna think there's a lot of money, but instead there's gonna be leaflets. And I also keep them in my mom's car so that when she's driving, we see someone with the I Love Bacon shirt on, we pull over and give them a leaflet and tell them what their bacon's really made out of. And they don't know what they just ran into. So I also wanted to remind you all, you're never too young or too old to become a vegan or activist or even both. Because I started when I was only 6, and sometimes I would think, well, what do I know? I'm only 6. But instead of that, I started changing that to, I can do this. I can change the world by going vegan and protest and leafleting. So there's just simple changes that we can all do every single day that just makes such a big impact on our day. So you can start off the day by saying, instead of I can't, say I can. And instead of I won't, say I will. It's just simple changes that we can do that makes our day so much better. And just remember that we're doing this for the animals. The animals really need our help, and we also should always just stay united and stay together, because alone we're like superheroes, but all together we're invincible. And always remember that sometimes when you're protesting or leafleting, there's gonna be somebody that might give you the middle finger or the double finger. But instead of that, just look at it the good way. You might have planted a seed. You might have even saved an animal. They won't go to that circus that they were going to go to. Just always remember when you're feeling down sometimes, just remember that we're in it for the animals and we're going to get through this all together. And also there's vegan kids started protesting when they were younger. Like, for example, my little sister and brothers, they protest all the time with me. They're always at protests with me, and they love it so much. My sister and brother, they even went vegan for the animals because they just love animals so much. They love turkeys, all types of animals. They just love animals so much, and they also go to sanctuaries with me. And if you want to get some people to go vegan, a way you can tell them, just tell them to look at the personalities of animals. I'm not from here, so I don't know if there's any sanctuaries around, but you could also donate to sanctuaries, and you can give them money so that they can continue to saving the lives of animals. And also just let personalities of animals, because so many different personalities of animals. Like, there's this one turkey at my favorite sanctuary I always go to, and there's this turkey, and whenever I'm looking at a cow or a pig and petting them, he'll start flapping his wings and stomping his feet, and he'll rub his beak up against me, so I'll pay attention to him instead of them. He gets so mad. And sometimes when he kicks dust up in the air, you open up your eyes and you don't know where you just came from. So there's different personalities. There's this even pig, and her name's Jumper, and she's always happy. But one day she was just really, really moody. So they put her to the side and let her have her time, and she was fine the next day. And also, for me, I love animals so much. I told my mom I had a big idea about animals, so I wanted to start my own sanctuary because I love animals so much, and I wanted to have goats and pigs and llamas. And my mom, I even drew up like a big board of where my animals would stay and where I would keep them. And when I showed her my big idea, I planned it out and everything. She said, well, Genesis, we live out in the middle of a city. Where are we going to keep all these animals? And I said, well, we can keep them in my bedroom, the backyard. And she said, well, maybe we can't do that because all of those animals I know you're going to want to have, so we're going to want to rescue so many goats and so many pigs. And she told me that that's probably not the best idea because that's not where animals would be comfortable and they wouldn't like to be there. So instead I said, well, maybe I have an idea. I want to start my own organization where I can give money to sanctuaries that have animals and rescue the animals, and I'll give them, I'm going to raise money so that they'll be able to keep saving animals. I'm going to give it to sanctuaries all over the world, and I'm just going to let them know. I'm going to give them the money, so if they contact me and say that they need a vet visit or they broke their leg or anything, I'm going to give them money so they can keep continuing to save animals. And also for all the kids in the audience, I also wanted just to let you guys know that sometimes if you ever get discouraged or you go to school and some kids are bullying you, just be confident. Be a confident vegan, and you have to just always be proud, because the people that are bullying you, they don't know any better. So if they were vegan, they wouldn't bully you, but they just don't know any better. So never get discouraged. And lastly, I wanted to say, if you're not vegan, please consider becoming vegan. If you're already vegan, please consider becoming an activist. And if you're vegan and an activist, keep fighting. Thank you.
Genesis, you sound a lot like me when I was 3 years old. When I told my mom, I asked my mom the same question. How do you deal with your friends at school who are not vegan?
Well, I try to encourage them to go vegan, and like, do you mean by like if they bully me or like, yeah, well, whenever you're not confident about being vegan and not proud to be a vegan, they're just gonna think, well, it's okay, they're gonna walk all over you. But when you're confident about being vegan and you own it, they're not gonna say nothing to you because you just own it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Genesis. Thank you for coming today to speak to us. I just have to know where you got your leggings. I love them.
There's this one lady, her name's Alba Paris, and she always, she makes the best clothing, and she gave them to me, and I love them so much. I wear them all the time, but thank you for asking. Any more questions?
Remind them that the panel.
Okay. There's also a panel that's growing up. It's a panel, and it's going to be in room 12 starting at 3. And I'm going to be in it.
Hi, Genesis.
Hi.
You're so lucky to have the parents that you had that answered honestly and supported you. For
Thank you.
kids that possibly don't have parents that support it, I can imagine that's much more difficult for them. What would you recommend for in that situation?
Well, I would recommend to them, just tell them that there's so much vegan food. Well, for me, it was much easier since I had my parent, but if you don't have parents that would go vegan with you, whenever they're going to the grocery store, there's so many different alternatives that they can buy, and you can even go with them and tell them that you're vegan, and they'll buy you alternatives, and just let them show them all the alternatives you can have. And when they cook your food, sometimes they'll even look at it and say, wow, that looks better than mine. And they might want to try it. So I think just, if there's different alternatives, just buy them and just, this is a difficult question because I have my parents, but just buy different alternatives probably. That's what I think I'd recommend.
What's your favorite food now that you stopped eating meat?
My favorite food is, that's a hard one. I love so much vegan food. It's my favorite. I think I still love my vegan chicken nuggets and vegan mac and cheese. It's always my favorite. And I just always love those foods. It's always been my favorite. But
Does your family get a chance to grow things? Do you like to watch things growing in the garden?
well, I haven't started my own garden yet, but I'm trying to start one. I'm gonna either start it in my front yard or my backyard, but we have dogs, so I don't know how like the garden would work because they're crazy little dogs and they don't, they're my Yorkie Terrier and I have my other little Chihuahua, and I have a Chihuahua mix. So I don't know how they would act with the garden. Fertilizer?
Hi. I was wondering, have you ever turned any of your friends or schoolmates vegan?
Yes, I have. I have two of my friends that have went vegan, my best friends. They always would see my vegan food and they would ask where I got it from. And whenever they come over for sleepovers, they just loved all the vegan food, so now they're vegan. But yes, I have.
Think any of the old food, like meat that you love, do you think they're bad now or disgusting?
Do I think?
Do you think that they're disgusting, the old foods that you like, that you loved?
Yes, I think they're disgusting. Just to know like where they came from and how animals had to be killed for them. No, I do not like that at all. I think it's disgusting now.